I never imagined that a single email confirmation could unravel the tightly woven tapestry of my carefully controlled life. 4 years, I'd lived by a quiet, predictable routine, waking before dawn, heading off to my unremarkable office job, and returning to the solitude of my modest apartment in a sleepy suburb. Every day followed the same familiar cadence, and I found comfort in its monotony. Yet, on an otherwise unassuming Tuesday afternoon, as I was sifting through my inbox with the detached efficiency of someone accustomed to order, a subject line glimmered unexpectedly on my screen. Your exclusive escape is confirmed. Luxury stay and intimate rendezvous at the Amaranth Resort. The message was brief, its tone elegant and enigmatic, and it sent a jolt of adrenaline coursing through me. I read it again, my eyes scanning the carefully chosen words. I was being invited to a secret getaway at the Amaranth Resort, a 5-star haven known only to a discerning few, and there, at midnight, I was promised an intimate dinner rendezvous with a mysterious admirer. The confirmation email detailed everything. Check-in was scheduled for 9:30 p.m., the reservation was under my name, and there was an itemized breakdown of charges that spoke of gourmet dining and luxurious amenities. I felt as if I'd stumbled upon a key to a hidden world. At first, I questioned my sanity. I reread the email several times, my mind racing. Had I somehow arranged for this escape without realizing it? But a quick scan of my calendar and previous messages revealed nothing. I had not booked any trip, nor had I ever expressed an interest in such an extravagant venture. The digital confirmation was entirely unexpected, a clandestine invitation that seemed to come from nowhere, yet was as detailed and precise as if it had been planned by a master orchestrator. It was as though the universe, or perhaps a secret part of my soul, was urging me to step away from my safe routine and taste the forbidden fruit of a life unburdened by predictability. For a long, silent moment, I sat in my dimly lit office, the low hum of computers and whispered voices around me fading into insignificance compared to the pounding of my heart. I could feel a stirring deep within, a flicker of excitement I'd long buried beneath layers of caution and self-restraint. That email was a spark. It promised a weekend escape that would transport me into a realm of indulgence, intimacy, and hidden luxury. My mind whirled with questions. Who was behind this invitation? Could it be an anonymous admirer, someone who had observed me from afar and decided I was worthy of such an experience? Or was it simply fate's way of offering me a chance to break free from the confining boundaries of my life? After a prolonged internal struggle between fear and desire, I chose to surrender to the mystery. The idea of stepping into a secret weekend filled with lavish comforts and a forbidden rendezvous was too alluring to ignore. I typed a tentative response, just a single word, yes, and hit send. Almost immediately, my phone vibrated with another message in the same hidden thread. It read, "Prepare for an unforgettable escape. Detailed itinerary will follow. Embrace the unknown." That single reply marked the beginning of a journey I never anticipated. I spent the rest of the day in a daze of introspection. At home, I absent-mindedly stared at the same ceiling I'd grown used to, yet everything now seemed suffused with possibility. I realized that I had longed for adventure even when I convinced myself that my predictable life was enough. Perhaps I'd been living on autopilot, too afraid to risk the vulnerability of new experiences. The confirmation email had shattered that facade, and I felt, with a fierce yet trembling certainty, that this weekend might be the turning point I never knew I needed. That afternoon, I set about preparing for the escape with an intensity one hadn't felt in years. I cleared my schedule for the weekend, canceling plans I hadn't truly looked forward to, and dedicated every spare moment to visualizing the unknown path ahead. I even found myself rereading the confirmation email, each time extracting new layers of meaning from the meticulously chosen words. The email detailed a check-in at the Amaranth Resort at 9:30 p.m. on Saturday. The Amaranth was renowned among a select circle for its understated opulence, a chic, 5-star resort that boasted serene, private gardens, a state-of-the-art spa, and luxurious suites that promised a haven from the world's chaos. Alongside that, the email mentioned a dinner rendezvous at an elite restaurant known as La Nuit d'Emeraude, whose reputation for decadent cuisine and intimate ambience was whispered among those who enjoyed life's hidden luxuries. I began planning my escape with a mix of excitement and trepidation. I rummaged through my wardrobe, searching for an outfit that would convey both sophistication and a hint of daring. I eventually selected a fitted, midnight blue dress that draped elegantly over my figure, a garment I had once admired in a boutique window but had never dared to wear in public. I paired it with a tailored black blazer and a set of silver accessories that caught the light with each movement. As I applied my makeup, a bold red lip, softly smudged eyeliner, and eyes that sparkled with quiet determination, I felt as if I were transforming not only my outward appearance, but also shedding the old, cautious layers that had defined me for so long. With my heart racing and a new resolve kindling within me, I left my apartment around 7:30 p.m. on Saturday. The cool air outside carried a promise, and as I stepped onto the bustling city streets, I felt every step pulling me closer to an unknown destiny. I hailed a ride-share, and as the sleek black car pulled up to my door, I clutched my phone with the confirmation email still displayed, a talisman of the adventure ahead. The driver greeted me with a polite nod as I gave him the address for the Amaranth Resort, located in an upscale district known for its discreet elegance. During the ride, I watched as the familiar suburban sprawl slowly gave way to a vibrant, urban tapestry of designer storefronts, softly glowing streetlights, and hints of opulence at every turn. I marveled at how the ordinary world around me was transforming into something extraordinary with every passing block. After a ride that felt both swift and timeless, the car pulled up outside the Amaranth Resort, a modern architectural marvel that seamlessly blended sleek glass and refined stone. The hotel's entrance was bathed in soft, ambient lighting, elegant chandeliers glimmered in the foyer, and a hushed murmur of sophisticated voices hinted at the luxury that lay within. I paid the driver and stepped out, feeling the cool evening air wash over me as I approached the grand entrance. A courteous valet greeted me, taking my bag with an air of practiced discretion, and I was promptly ushered to the reception desk. At the desk, I was greeted by a well-dressed attendant whose warm smile and polite tone immediately put me at ease. "Good evening, Ms. Langley," he said, his voice smooth and reassuring, as he confirmed my reservation for Suite 1207. I was momentarily startled. My name, spoken with such familiarity by a stranger, seemed to echo the very secret I was about to live. With a few nods and a graceful handover of a sleek keycard, I was informed that my suite was ready and that further instructions for the weekend escape would be sent to my phone. I accepted the keycard, and with a deep, steady breath, I made my way to the private elevator. The ride upward was a quiet ascent, each floor marker on the digital display a reminder that I was moving further away from the life I'd always known and closer to an entirely new existence. When the elevator doors opened on the 12th floor, I stepped into a corridor adorned with plush carpeting and tasteful, modern art. At the end of the hall, Suite 1207 awaited, its door marked with elegant silver numerals. I swiped my keycard, and the door swung open with a soft chime, revealing a sanctuary of luxury and serenity. Inside, the suite was a masterpiece of refined design. Floor-to-ceiling windows offered a sweeping view of the glittering cityscape, contemporary furnishings blended seamlessly with hints of classic opulence, and every detail, from the delicate arrangement of fresh flowers on the console table to the ambient music playing in the background, was meticulously curated to evoke comfort and indulgence. I spent a few moments in quiet awe, taking in the room's lavish beauty, before a neatly folded envelope on the bedside table caught my attention. With trembling hands, I opened it to reveal a handwritten note in graceful, flowing script. "Welcome, dear one. Tonight, your secret escape begins with an unforgettable dinner at La Nuit d'Emeraude. At midnight, your intimate rendezvous awaits. Surrender to the allure of the night." The note sent a thrill of anticipation coursing through me. It was as if every word was a delicate promise, a promise that the night would be filled with sensory delights and moments of profound connection. I felt an intoxicating mix of fear and excitement. The idea of a secret dinner date with an unknown admirer was both exhilarating and daunting. It was a leap into the unknown that would challenge everything I'd known about safety and routine. I quickly refreshed myself in the suite's pristine bathroom, my reflection in the mirror a study in transformation. I changed into another outfit that I had set aside, a sleek, black dress with subtle lace details, paired with elegant accessories that whispered of sophistication and rebellion. As I applied my makeup, bold yet refined, I felt my inner self stirring with a newfound energy, a quiet determination to embrace the forbidden pleasures of the night. At 9:45 p.m., I left the sanctuary of my suite and re-entered the lobby, where a rideshare had been arranged to take me to La Nuit d'Emeraude. The car ride was a silent passage through the transformed cityscape, the familiar turned fantastical by the soft glow of streetlights and the gentle rhythm of rain on pavement. Every moment felt charged with possibility. Every turn of the road drew me deeper into the hidden layers of a life I had only begun to glimpse. When the car finally pulled up outside La Nuit d'Emeraude, I stepped out into the cool night, my breath mingling with the mist. The restaurant's entrance was a study in understated elegance, a pair of glass doors framed by intricate ironwork and softly illuminated by ambient lights. I hesitated at the threshold, my heart pounding in anticipation, then pushed the door open and stepped inside. The interior of La Nuit d'Emeraude was breathtaking, a realm of intimate sophistication where every detail was a testament to refined luxury. Soft, golden light bathed the room, and the gentle strains of a live piano filled the air with a soothing, melancholic melody. I was led to a reserved table in a secluded corner, where a single red rose in a slender vase stood as a silent symbol of romance and mystery. The table was set with flawless precision, crisp white linens, polished silverware, and fine china that sparkled under the gentle light. I took my seat and felt a quiet thrill as I realized that this was not just a dinner, it was an experience carefully crafted to awaken every sense. The first course arrived, a delicate amuse-bouche of truffle-infused mushroom tartlet that seemed to dissolve into a burst of flavor with every bite. I savored it slowly, each taste a reminder that I was part of something extraordinary. Course after course followed, a velvety lobster bisque that warmed my heart, a main dish of perfectly seared sea bass with a citrus reduction that danced on my palate, and a final dessert of caramel-infused crème brûlée whose delicate, crackling surface promised sweetness and indulgence beyond measure. With each course, the layers of my old, predictable life melted away, replaced by a sense of liberation and a hunger for the unknown. Between courses, I found my eyes drifting to the ambient lights and the soft murmur of conversation around me, all of it an elegant backdrop to the unfolding drama of my secret escape. I felt the presence of my forbidden admirer in every discreet glance and every subtle nod exchanged among the diners, a shared, unspoken acknowledgement that we were all, in our own ways, seeking a taste of the extraordinary. As dessert concluded and I sat back, savoring the last delicate spoonful, my phone vibrated with one final message of the night: "Your intimate rendezvous awaits at the posh hotel bar. Proceed now." My heart fluttered at the thought of what was to come, a forbidden meeting with someone whose identity had been shrouded in mystery, yet whose promise of connection beckoned irresistibly. I gathered my things and, with a deep breath that steadied the whirlwind of my emotions, left the restaurant. The cool night air wrapped around me as I hailed a rideshare, the car's interior a quiet cocoon of reflective anticipation. The drive back through rain-glazed streets was a silent procession of neon reflections and shifting shadows, a journey that seemed to echo the inner transformation I was experiencing. Every flicker of a street lamp, every glimmer on a puddle, felt like a secret sign pointing me toward a future that defied the dull routine of my past. When the car pulled up outside the posh hotel bar, a secluded lounge in the upper echelons of the Celestial Luxe Hotel, I stepped out with a mixture of trepidation and excitement. The building itself was a masterpiece of modern elegance, its reflective facade hinting at the discreet luxury hidden within. I entered the grand lobby and made my way to the exclusive bar, where low ambient lighting and the soft murmur of jazz set a tone of refined intimacy. I chose a quiet seat at the far end of the bar and ordered a cocktail, a delicate, signature creation that blended citrus, spice, and a touch of mystery in every sip. As I sat there, the atmosphere of the bar enveloped me in a sense of serene possibility. The elegant clink of crystal glasses, the gentle murmur of discreet conversations, and the subdued glow of the ambient lights all contributed to an environment that was as mysterious as it was inviting. I recalled the journey that had led me here, from the hidden text thread and the secret email confirmation to the sumptuous dining experience at La Nuit d'Emeraude, and felt a deep gratitude for the serendipity that had guided me to this point. In the quiet stillness of that posh hotel bar, I closed my eyes for a moment and allowed the memories of the night to wash over me. I remembered every sumptuous bite, every whispered secret, every look exchanged with someone who shared the thrill of a hidden life. And as the clock ticked softly toward midnight, I knew that the evening's journey was far from over. The intimate rendezvous promised by the messages was the final, yet most enigmatic, chapter of this clandestine escape, a promise of connection that transcended the ordinary and beckoned me to live with unabashed passion. I left the bar with my heart alight and my mind buzzing with possibilities, stepping back into the cool night with a quiet resolve. The rideshare back to my suite was a reflective interlude, a time to replay every moment in my mind and savor the delicate balance between risk and reward. As I arrived back at the Celestial Luxe Hotel and stepped into the sanctuary of my suite, I felt transformed, as though I had shed the heavy layers of a predictable life and embraced a new, vibrant self. Sitting by the expansive window that overlooked a city glittering with secret dreams, I opened my journal and began to write. Every word flowed from a place of profound vulnerability and newfound courage, capturing the essence of a night that had shattered my old confines and introduced me to a world of hidden luxury, forbidden romance, and the exhilarating joy of living authentically. In that quiet space, I knew that I had embarked on a journey that would forever alter the course of my life, a journey defined not by routine, but by the endless, transformative magic of secret escapes. I woke before the sun had truly risen, in a state of suspended reverie that made it feel as if the world outside my window was still cloaked in the velvet of midnight. The secret weekend escape, the one revealed by that hidden text thread, had left its indelible mark on me. Every sensory detail from that extraordinary time was vivid in my memory: the taste of gourmet delicacies at an elite restaurant, the quiet murmur of whispered confidences in shadowed corridors, and the heady thrill of stepping into a world I'd long only imagined in fleeting dreams. That night, as I crossed the threshold from my familiar existence into the unknown, I discovered that the line between fantasy and reality was far thinner than I'd ever suspected. The hidden text thread, with its cryptic messages and elegantly crafted invitations, had beckoned me to abandon the safe cadence of my everyday life. Instead, I had been drawn into secret weekend escapes that promised indulgence and the kind of forbidden intimacy that stirred the soul. I remember how my heart had pounded as I first read the message: "Escape now. Elite retreat confirmed. Decadent dinner awaits at Le Jardin Noir." The words, so simple yet potent, had ignited a deep desire to break free from the confines of routine. In the hours following that revelatory night, I began to understand that nothing would ever be the same again. The luxurious weekend I had embraced was more than a temporary diversion, it was the catalyst for an inner revolution. I had spent the entire night enveloped in the soft glow of candlelight at an intimate, upscale restaurant, where every course was a masterclass in culinary artistry and every whispered conversation carried the weight of unspoken dreams. I recalled the sumptuous flavors, the tang of citrus mingled with the earthy warmth of truffle, the velvety richness of a lobster bisque, and the delicate sweetness of a dessert that crackled under the press of my spoon. Each taste was a revelation, a symbol of the world I had always longed to inhabit. I also remembered the moments of connection, those secret glances exchanged across the table, the subtle touch of a hand that passed a dish, and the shared understanding in the eyes of strangers who, like me, had dared to abandon the safe and embrace the sensual unknown. In those moments, I felt an overwhelming kinship with every soul present, a collective rebellion against a life dictated by predictability and monotony. The experience was both exhilarating and terrifying, and it left me with an insatiable hunger for more. Now, in the quiet solitude of the morning, I sit at my window, watching the city slowly awaken beneath a gentle mist. The view is a vast tapestry of light and shadow, a reminder that the ordinary world is full of hidden wonders if only we dare to look. I open my journal and begin to write, trying desperately to capture the essence of that transformative weekend. I describe in detail the tactile memories, the cool, smooth marble of the hotel lobby, the plush comfort of an elegantly appointed suite, and the delicate clink of fine crystal in the exclusive dining hall. Every word flows with the emotion of those secret hours, each sentence a confession of a life that is slowly being rewritten by daring choices and whispered promises. Throughout the following days, the impact of that weekend escape continues to ripple through my daily existence. When I walk through the city, even the most mundane streets shimmer with a newfound vibrancy. I notice the gentle interplay of light on rain-dappled pavements, the soft murmur of life in a crowded cafe, and the fleeting smile of a stranger that speaks of shared, unspoken secrets. The secret texts that once seemed so foreign now feel like the keys to a hidden universe, a universe where each discreet invitation is a stepping stone toward a life of passion and authenticity. I find myself questioning the boundaries I once accepted without a second thought. The email confirmation that had initially revealed my secret luxury stays, the one that had exposed decadent dinners and intimate rendezvous with a forbidden admirer, had awakened something within me, a dormant desire to truly live, to experience life in all its unpredictable glory. I no longer see my days as a series of interchangeable moments but as a canvas waiting to be painted with experiences that are vibrant, raw, and profoundly real. One particular afternoon, as I wandered through an art gallery in the city's historic district, I encountered a painting that captured my attention with its riot of color and bold strokes, a chaotic, beautiful explosion of emotion that reminded me of the wild, uncharted passion that had been stirred inside me during that secret escape. I stood there for what felt like an eternity, the painting's energy resonating with every fiber of my being, reaffirming that art and life were intertwined in ways I had only begun to understand. In that moment, I realized that the transformation I was undergoing was not just about breaking free from routine, it was about reclaiming the parts of myself I had long suppressed, my desire for beauty, my need for connection, my hunger for experiences that made my heart race. That realization led me to embrace even the smallest moments of vulnerability. I began to attend gatherings, dinners, and exhibitions that I once would have ignored. I reached out to friends to share my experiences, timidly at first, and soon with a fervor that surprised even me. In each new encounter, I sought out the magic of the unknown, a secret rendezvous, a hidden conversation, a quiet smile that told a story of its own. Every discreet invitation that I received on my phone became a gentle call to explore the myriad dimensions of life, to step beyond the limitations of a safe, predictable existence and to taste the intoxicating allure of passion and possibility. Now, as I reflect on the profound impact of that transformative weekend, I feel an unyielding sense of gratitude. I am beginning to understand that every secret escape, every intimate dinner date with that mysterious admirer, was not a random anomaly but a deliberate nudge from the universe, a reminder that we are capable of far more than we dare to imagine. The digital confirmation that exposed my secret luxury stays has become the catalyst for a larger journey of self-discovery, one that compels me to seek out hidden wonders in every corner of my world. Sitting here in the gentle afterglow of early morning, I vow to continue embracing every secret invitation that comes my way. I have seen that the extraordinary is never far from the ordinary, that behind every carefully constructed facade of routine lies a realm of undiscovered beauty waiting to be explored. With each new day, I plan to live more boldly, to celebrate every clandestine encounter, every whispered promise, as a vital thread in the tapestry of my true self. The forbidden allure of those intimate rendezvous has lit a spark within me, a spark that now burns with the promise of endless possibility. In the coming days, I know there will be more alerts, more hidden messages, and more opportunities to break free from the chains of convention. I will seek out the moments when life reveals its hidden treasures, and I will not hesitate to answer the call. For I have learned that every secret luxury escape, every decadent dinner shared in hushed intimacy, is a stepping stone toward a life lived with passion, authenticity, and the unbridled courage to explore the unknown. And so, as I close my journal and prepare to face the day, I carry with me the quiet conviction that the journey is only just beginning. The echoes of that forbidden weekend, its luxurious hotel stays, its sumptuous gourmet dinners, and its intimate encounters, will continue to guide me on a path where the extraordinary is woven into the fabric of everyday life. I am ready to live fully, to embrace every secret, and to follow the delicate, persistent whispers of the universe wherever they may lead. I awoke on Sunday morning as if emerging from a long, vivid dream, a dream that had swept me away into a realm of secret escapes and decadent indulgence. The remnants of the weekend lingered like soft after-images, the taste of exquisite dishes, the sound of hushed laughter in candlelit rooms, and the bittersweet echo of whispered promises. I lay in bed for a long while, barely daring to move as I tried to capture every detail in my mind. Even the quiet patter of rain on the windowpane seemed to carry a hidden message, a reminder that the extraordinary had seeped into every fiber of my life. I remembered the moment the hidden text thread had first appeared on my phone. Its cryptic messages, like delicate keys, had unlocked a door I never knew existed. "Escape now," one of the texts had urged, followed by detailed instructions for a weekend retreat that promised luxury, mystery, and a forbidden intimacy that defied the dull cadence of my everyday life. I had hesitated at first, torn between the safety of routine and the tantalizing call of the unknown, but that spark inside me, long dimmed by years of careful predictability, had flared up into a blazing desire to be free. I had replied with a single, resolute yes, and in that instant, my life had begun to transform. Now, as I sat up in the soft light of dawn in my suite at Villa Aurora, I could still feel the aftershocks of the weekend. The suite itself was a temple of refined elegance, every detail curated to evoke luxury and intimacy, plush furnishings, floor-to-ceiling windows framing the glittering cityscape, and a subtle soundtrack of ambient music that seemed to breathe life into the silence. I moved slowly, savoring the sensations of that space, as if each step were a quiet celebration of the newfound freedom that had begun to define me. Before breakfast, I opened my journal, a trusted confidant over these recent transformative days, and began to write. My pen raced across the pages as I recounted every moment in painstaking detail, the original hidden text thread with its seductive promises, the exhilarating drive through rain-dappled streets, the grand entrance of Villa Aurora, and the moment I first laid eyes on the sumptuous suite that would be my temporary sanctuary. I wrote about the gourmet dinner at l'Étoile de Minute, where every course had been an exquisite revelation, a truffle-infused mushroom tartlet that seemed to burst with flavor, a velvety lobster bisque that warmed my spirit, and a perfectly seared sea bass that danced with hints of citrus and herbs. I recounted the intimate ambience of the restaurant, where soft piano music and the gentle murmur of secret conversations created a cocoon of indulgence, and how, amid that quiet luxury, I had felt a stirring of something deep and undefinable. I remembered the glances exchanged with strangers at the table, each look a silent acknowledgement that we were all part of a clandestine society, daring to live life on our own terms. I recalled the moment my phone buzzed with the final message of the evening, Your forbidden admirer awaits at the posh hotel bar. Proceed now. With trembling excitement, I had left the restaurant, hailing a rideshare that had taken me through a city transformed by night, a city where every puddle, every flicker of neon light, held a promise of hidden wonders. The posh hotel bar itself was an oasis of refined mystery. Stepping into the dimly lit lounge, I had felt as though I were entering a world that existed just for those who dared to dream. There, amid the soft clink of crystal and the subtle strains of jazz, I had met Gabriel, a man whose quiet, soulful eyes and tender, sincere smile had made my heart flutter like never before. We had talked in hushed tones, our conversation unfolding like a delicate dance of shared vulnerability. Gabriel had told me of his own secret escapes, his words filled with the raw intensity of a life unbound by convention. I had shared my story as well, the slow, cautious life I once led, and the sudden, fierce awakening that began with that hidden text. In the dim light of the bar, every word felt like a promise, every touch a gentle affirmation that the extraordinary was real. As I wrote, I realized that the experiences of that weekend were more than just fleeting diversions, they were the first chapters of a new life. In the days since, I had found myself looking at the world with renewed eyes. The mundane had become magical. I noticed the way sunlight broke over the city's skyline in the early morning, the delicate patterns created by raindrops on window panes, and the quiet smiles of strangers in a busy cafe. Every small detail was imbued with a secret possibility, a reminder that life was rich with hidden treasures if only I dared to seek them out. That afternoon, drawn by an inner restlessness, I decided to revisit the art district, a place I had once passed by without a second glance. The narrow streets, lined with murals bursting in color and vibrancy, seemed to pulse with energy and unspoken stories. I wandered slowly, absorbing the creativity that adorned every corner, each painting and sculpture echoing the journey I was now on, a journey of self-discovery, of living boldly beyond the safe limits of routine. I paused before a particularly striking mural that depicted a phoenix rising from ashes, a symbol of rebirth and renewal. As I stared at the vivid imagery, I felt a surge of emotion, a confirmation that my own transformation was not only possible but necessary. Later that evening, just as the sun began its slow descent, my phone buzzed with another alert from the hidden text thread. This time, the message was brief but filled with promise. Your journey continues. Tonight, join us at the Veritas Lounge for a secret celebration. Let your heart be your guide. I felt the familiar rush of excitement. The Veritas Lounge, another exclusive venue whispered about in hushed tones among those who embraced the hidden sides of life, was said to be a haven of refined revelry, where the boundaries between art, conversation, and intimacy blurred into one captivating experience. I spent the rest of the afternoon preparing once more, choosing an outfit that spoke to the deep, evolving transformation within me. This time, I opted for a shimmering emerald green gown that flowed like liquid elegance, paired with minimal silver jewelry that caught the light in subtle, enchanting ways. I took extra care with my hair and makeup, wanting my appearance to reflect the vibrant, fearless self I was learning to embrace. Every detail was a quiet rebellion against the life I had known, a life that now seemed like a distant memory. At 7:45 p.m., I left Villa Aurora with a sense of serene anticipation. The rideshare took me through the city's nocturnal streets once again, a landscape transformed by the interplay of rain and neon, where every shadow held a hint of mystery and every glimmer of light was a silent invitation. As the car pulled up outside the Veritas Lounge, a sleek, modern building tucked discreetly away in an upscale neighborhood, I felt a thrill of recognition. This was yet another portal into the hidden world that had now become my secret sanctuary. I stepped out into the cool night, my heart racing with excitement and the soft whisper of adventure in the air. The entrance to the Veritas Lounge was understated yet inviting, a glass door framed by artful lighting that hinted at the wonder within. As I pushed the door open, I was greeted by a space that was both intimate and electric. Soft, ambient music flowed through the lounge, mingling with the gentle buzz of conversation and the quiet clink of glasses. The decor was a harmonious blend of modern minimalism and vintage charm, plush seating arranged in intimate clusters, walls adorned with abstract art, and delicate lighting that cast intriguing patterns of shadow and light. I was guided to a secluded table near a large window that overlooked a bustling cityscape, the metropolis a dazzling mosaic of light and possibility. As I sat, I could feel that the evening was steeped in quiet anticipation. Here, among other souls who had dared to step into the unknown, I was part of a collective celebration, a secret society of dreamers and wanderers, each of us united by the desire to break free from the mundane and embrace life's hidden luxuries. The night at the Veritas Lounge unfolded slowly, each moment a careful layering of sensory delight and introspective revelation. I sipped a carefully crafted cocktail whose taste was a delicate blend of bitter citrus and sweet spice, a perfect metaphor for the duality of life's pleasures and challenges. Conversation with fellow guests flowed in hushed tones. I shared my own journey, recounting the series of clandestine escapes that had led me to this very moment, while listening intently to the stories of others. Every shared secret, every knowing glance, reinforced the unspoken truth that life's most extraordinary experiences often blossom from the seeds of vulnerability and courage. As the night deepened, I felt a quiet euphoria take hold, an inner illumination born of embracing the unknown. The Veritas Lounge, with its soft symphony of ambient sounds and gentle warmth, had become a refuge, a place where I could momentarily shed the vestiges of my former, cautious self and step fully into the vibrant, unpredictable tapestry of life. I realized that each secret invitation had not only expanded my horizon but had also unlocked a deeper understanding of who I was meant to be. Someone unafraid to celebrate life's hidden wonders and to pursue beauty with unwavering determination. When the evening finally drew to a close and the lounge began to empty, I sat quietly for a moment, savoring the lingering echoes of soft laughter and the gentle clink of glasses. I felt both a deep satisfaction and a bittersweet yearning, an awareness that this was just one chapter in an unfolding story, a prelude to countless more secret escapades that awaited me. I exchanged heartfelt goodbyes with new acquaintances whose eyes shone with shared promises, and as I left the Veritas Lounge, I knew that my journey was far from over. The ride back to Villa Aurora was a reflective interlude, a slow, contemplative passage through the rain-soaked streets, where every neon light and shimmering puddle was a reminder that the extraordinary was woven into the fabric of the everyday. In the quiet of that ride, I let my mind wander through the vibrant mosaic of the weekend, the decadent dinners, the hidden hotel stays, the forbidden rendezvous that had unraveled the predictable, and every whispered promise that had dared me to be more than I'd ever believed possible. Back in the sanctuary of my suite, I sank into the plush comfort of an armchair by the window, where the city below sparkled with the promise of endless possibility. I opened my journal once more, my pen a conduit for every emotion and revelation of the night. I wrote about the beauty of stepping into a secret world, a world where luxury and intimacy were intertwined, where every secret invitation was a doorway to self-rediscovery. Each word I inscribed was a declaration of a new chapter in my life, one defined by passion, authenticity, and the unyielding courage to live boldly. In the days that followed, I carried with me the transformative energy of those clandestine nights. Every mundane moment, whether it was the rhythmic tapping of rain on the window, the quiet smile of a passerby, or the gentle murmur of a busy street, now shimmered with the potential for hidden wonder. I found that the world was richer than I had ever imagined, and that the extraordinary lay just beneath the surface of every ordinary day. I started to welcome every new secret invitation as a stepping stone, a reminder that life's most profound experiences are reserved for those who dare to break free from routine. Now, as I reflect on the journey that continues to unfold, I know that I have only scratched the surface of a life brimming with secret escapes and forbidden pleasures. Every hidden text, every discreet alert, is a key, a promise that if I remain open to the mystery, the world will continue to reveal its hidden treasures. With a heart alight with hope and a soul that has learned to dance in the delicate interplay of light and shadow, I look forward to tomorrow, and every day after, with the fierce certainty that the extraordinary is always just a secret invitation away.